Well, good day. This is Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C-Suite Network's Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. Welcome to our extraordinary program today about coach consultant success. Our theme today, and you know, we're all about coach consultant success. Today's topic is really important about mastering the enrollment conversation. And, you know, we know this is so important because without that enrollment conversation, not much happens in the world of coaching and consulting or really in business. And so I'm really excited to bring this topic to you today. And again, I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of C-Suite Network's Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a writer, I'm a lover of all things coaching. I've been a professionally certified coach since 1998 with the International Coach Federation and Coach U. And I love all things coaching. And so it's a passion project for me to bring this topic to us today and to be the founder of the C-Suite Network, Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. So I love to also start with definitions because I think it's important for all of us to stop and pause and think through what it is that we're talking about. What's the theme today? And so enrollment is so important. You know, we all would love to work with our most ideal, perfect, wonderful, great clients. And we, of course, always want to support our clients in having the outcomes and the results that they want. And it's so important because enrollment is generally the first step in the process. And, you know, a definition that I love from merriam-webster.com is enrollment, a noun, the action or process of enrolling or being enrolled. And being enrolled to an official program process and officially registering. So it's this process that we take clients through that, as you know, starts way before the conversation or way before the video webinar or way before the downloadable, beautiful thing that you're giving your clients and your prospects. It starts way before that. And so I'd like to have you stop for a moment and think for yourself, what does enrollment mean to you? And thinking about your client journey, your prospect journey, your customer partner, whomever it is, could even be your family member, your teen, your partner, you know, what does enrollment mean to you? And, you know, certainly we take an approach in our council of enrollment is coming together and having a collaborative co-acceleration relationship. This is not power over, this is not being overpowering, overbearing. It's really working, finding relationships that benefit you as the coach, the consultant, and also benefit the client and your communities. So thinking about what enrollment means to you, really important first step. And, you know, as we're thinking now for our topic today, mastering the enrollment conversation, specifically thinking about that moment in time when a person says yes to having a conversation with you. And you know, it's that beautiful, very powerful time. It's a very sacred time, I believe. And it's certainly a time where, first of all, mastering this conversation, I believe, means number one, preparing yourself for this. This is not something that I recommend at all, rushing into, doing without forethought, really taking your time to have the right mindset, remembering your commitment to yourself, to your business, to your clients, and also thinking about your bigger commitment to the world. What would be possible? What will be possible when you have this person as a client? Honestly, you'll never know what can be co-created. I have a client that I'm working with, been working with her for over a year now in my year-long Women's Success Accelerator. And she started off with a client, we had a great relationship, and she doesn't mind me using her name, Deb Creer. Deb is a very successful podcaster. She has the Business Power Hour podcast. I think she's almost close to 1,000 podcast interviews. She does an extraordinary job. She joined our year-long program to take her program, take her idea, take her mission, and move it into programs, products, and services. And I didn't really know until I had this beautiful conversation with her that she is a cancer survivor, stage 4 breast cancer. And she's very open about this. So I'm not revealing anything that's proprietary. And she described her journey and her mission and her purpose. And right there in this moment, I remember saying to Deb, you were meant for more. You were meant to serve more, to educate more, to bring your message out to the world. And so we co-created her message in that moment of trying not to die, live, which has a huge backstory that you'll want to talk to Deb about. But in that moment, we created that on one of our first enrollment conversations. And so you can see that there was no pressure, there was no sort of anxiety. This was a free flow of conversation. And in that moment, I could never have anticipated that this conversation could have led then to, of course, her enrollment in the year-long program, but also a mission that she is now delivering all around the world. 1 year later, she has a beautiful website, a growing Facebook group, programs, products, services. It's absolutely incredible. And I can tag it right back to the very beginning of the enrollment conversation. So this is a very sacred thing that you're doing with someone else. You're hearing about their dreams, their wishes, their hopes, their possibilities. You have an opportunity as a coach consultant to listen to them in a way that perhaps they've never been listened to before. You get to listen with an open heart, open ears, open mind, compassionate, loving, caring, standing for this other person. It's extraordinary. So you've got to prepare yourself for this, having the right mindset, getting your confidence up as a coach, remembering and appreciating the results that you have helped create with others. So I mentioned that about Deb because I then have a completely different view, of the enrollment conversation because I remember the sacred moment of co-creating this with Deb Creer. So also, as you're preparing yourself for mastering the enrollment conversation, I highly recommend setting an intention for the call. You setting an intention and then also co-creating and setting an intention with the other person. This prospect, this partner, whomever this other beautiful person is, set an intention with them of what would you like? What can we create as an outcome for our call? Make sure that that intention is really clear. And then I highly recommend halfway through the call, just quickly check back in. How are we tracking? Are we on track for achieving the result, the outcome that we intended? And then finally, in this preparing yourself, relax, manage your energy. This is so, so, so important. I highly recommend don't, schedule yourself so tightly that literally you have to jump off the call, at the 29-minute mark, and I think enrollment calls don't have to be an hour. They don't have to be 55 minutes, but, understand that this takes some management and it takes really managing your energy. I recommend also to have an agenda, have a script, have a roadmap, have an outline. This is not something that you necessarily read from, but you have to have a roadmap on where are you taking this enrollment conversation? Where do you want to guide the client? This is a way for you to be the coach from the very first moment. Okay. Thinking about in advance, who really is your ideal client? What are those attributes you're looking for? What do you, in asking the question through this process, do you even really want to be this person's coach or guide or consultant or partner? Do you really want to be that person? And also, is this person a good fit for you in your programs? You're interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you. And of course, as we all know, being a coach with great reserves of time and resources and money and freedom and growth, having enough reserves helps you do this. There's a calmness that comes over you that you're not desperate. You don't need to have this next client in order to pay some bills or, pay the mortgage or whatever it is. Sit back, relax, and be in service. Okay. And so preparing yourself with a roadmap, really, really important. And thinking through, again, other clients that you've been in service to. And I always have kind of my ideal client in mind, and I kind of match up, who is this person? Can I serve them effectively? And will they also be a great fit into my programs, my counsel, all of these things? Do they fit into the us of us, so to speak? And throughout my career, you know, respectfully, I have candidly told many people that I don't think that the fit is right. I don't think that the fit is right. And mainly that's based on, again, the intentions that I've received. I've had a lot of calls with people who, from the very beginning, they've said, hey, I want to join you because I want to recruit other members in your council, or I need to make, I need to get new clients like within the next 24 hours. And I lovingly say, well, I'd be delighted to help you with that, but that's not the intention of this program, this council, whatever it is. And so, it takes a lot of courage to do this, but I know you're up for it. Okay. So having that capacity to be able to say, no, not now, is courageous. So mastering the enrollment conversation, I love the outline GROW. And as you all know, GROW is a time-tested model for having enrollment conversations. It talks about a person's goals. The R stands for the reality. What are they dealing with now? O is options, or you could even say obstacles. And then W is what's next. And generally, the GROW conversation is not necessarily to enroll people into your program, although you can, but to really get a sense of where is the person, where are they on their journey? And so I'm going to take you through some of the steps in greater detail with GROW. Please, I beg your pardon in advance. There's a lot of text on the screen here on the PowerPoint, but you can read this along with me. That, I think the first important question to ask when you're having a GROW conversation is something like, what had you contact me at this time? And listening for what they're saying, listening for what they're not saying, kind of what was the call to action for them to call you? They're going to tell you, well, I downloaded your ebook, or I saw you on a webinar, or, I'm interested in doing more things with partners. They're going to give you the backstory that you need to know. And then, of course, with GROW, we're then understanding, what is it that you'd like? What is your goal? And these are all a variety of questions you can use. You don't have to just use one, but asking the person that's on the Zoom call with you, on the phone, wherever it may be, what is it that you'd like? Tell me about your goal or your vision. Some people like to use the magic wand, in a perfect world where everything came together for you, what would your life look like? What would your business look like? What would your career look like? Tell me about what's possible. And also, of course, what is it that what kind of business or career do you really want? And then we're listening. What are their goals? And moving into, why is it that they want this? What's their why? Why is it important to you? And also kind of in the way of this, why haven't they achieved what they want so far? Okay. And, getting them to think about what's the feeling of it, not just the headspace, but the embodiment of their why. And how would it feel to you? What would it look like to you? How would it sound to you? Using all of their senses to have them get into the enrollment conversation about their big why. Okay. And their big, why is it important to you? So number one is goals. Okay. Number two is, in the GROW model, is the reality of what they're dealing with. Questions like, what's currently stopping you from having this thing that you want, naming it, of course. What's in the way? What's currently stopping you from, as an example, having a freedom business where you're generating and earning over $250,000 a year, just as an example here. What's your reality? What are your revenues right now? And again, you're creating a sacred, confidential space. I always start all of my enrollment conversations with a disclaimer to say, I just want you to know that everything we say is confidential. I am part of the International Coach Federation. I've been a member for many years, and I take an oath of confidentiality with my clients. So you can be rest assured that everything we say is sacred, confidential, without judgment. I'm here to support you. Okay. So talking about the reality, and sometimes this can be emotional. Tell me more about that. Trying to really understand like what's happening for them now. And, with permission, I will ask things like, could I ask you, how has this situation, how has it impacted, your health? Or how is it impacted your family life or your relationships or your finances? Really get clear the impact that this reality has had on the other person. Again, coaches, we like to, consultants, we like to hold it all together, and we like to, oftentimes pretend that everything's great, everything's fine, all of that. And so to really create a sacred, beautiful, heartfelt space where the person on the other side, the other end, can talk with you candidly about what their reality is profound. It's absolutely profound. And so we don't want to ever interject judgment, opinions. No, it's like, hey, completely got that, and if you have a very short anecdote, to share, I'll often just go in and, just share is like, wow, I understand that. I dealt with that. I have dealt with that so many times, especially early in my career. And also candidly, when I didn't have mentorship, when I wasn't part of a community, when I was on my own. Again, we're not trying to sell, but we're sharing. Okay. So the reality is all about sharing. And then, of course, in the GROW model, goals, reality, and the O stands for options. So the options could be, well, how about if we lay out like a little mini plan of what you can start doing? And then, this is not necessarily a coaching conversation. This is an enrollment conversation. But, part of the promise of your enrollment conversation or discovery call is people talk about this. This is a discovery call to see if there's an opportunity to work together. So, asking things like, why don't we just put together a little mini plan? And then you lay out a little mini plan, like, just like 3 steps. And so it could be even language that, again, I highly recommend practicing this language. In our program, the Women's Success Accelerator, we practice with our buddies. We practice with our boss, our board of success sisters, and we're practicing all of this because it's important for you to feel it in your body, to embody how easy it is to say this. And so at every stage of the GROW model. And so with the options, you could even say something like, well, Susan, based on what you shared, I think that a great course of action could be this, this, and this. And, with this, determine who really is your ideal client. Do a survey of your ideal clients, and then find out really what it is that they want and what are they willing to invest. That's just a quick kind of idea of a mini plan, and then reconnect with them on the results of your survey. You could lay out even then a conservative time frame is, you could really do this survey process, this reconnect process, this little mini plan. You could probably do this in about 90 days. What do you think? Okay. And once you've laid out this little mini plan, ask if their vision is worth walking through, any concerns that they have. And so this is an options to ask, how does this little mini plan sound? Is this something that you think you could do? What comes up for you when we talk about, this 3-step process? And invariably, they're going to say something like, well, I've tried this before and I'm afraid people won't respond, or, I don't know what to say, or whatever it may be. So just putting this in their language, getting over in their world, something like, Is your vision for a freedom-based business, because they told you at the very beginning what their vision and their goals were, is your vision of a freedom-based business worth walking through, say, the fear of not knowing? And then we're quiet. We listen. We just support them with a lot of love and caring and kindness, unconditional regard. And you're going to find out, is this something that they really want, or is it something that they think they want? Okay, with the options. And then, of course, in the W, with the wrap up, with the grow model, again, goals, reality, options, and then W, grow, wrap up. You might then pivot to a question like, may I share with you some of the things that we're doing in the Women's Success Accelerator? Or the next question could be once you've wrapped up a solution, you've got a little mini plan for them. You find out, you think this will work for you? How do you feel about the mini plan? And you kind of talk through that mini plan. The wrap up section is now where you're kind of wrapping things up. And a gorgeous, beautiful, easy question to ask is, how were you hoping I might be able to support you with this? Or how are you hoping I might be able to support you further? Put this in your own language. Feel comfortable with this. But this is a beautiful, beautiful transitional question. How are you hoping that I might be able to support you in this? Whatever works for you, something like, how are you hoping that I might support you in writing your book, or launching your program, or getting into corporate and having corporate coaching clients, whatever it is. Okay. Practice, 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 practice in the mirror, embody this, feel this, anchor yourself in the grow model. Okay. It's an elegant, easy model. Put together a script again so that you can kind of follow along. You don't necessarily want to read from the script, but at any time, it's important to know and stay on track. Okay. And so as we complete our time together, this grow model is lovely. And I have customized the grow model for a process that women really resonate with. I mean, we are more intuitive. We are more feeling. We are more process oriented oftentimes. And so, we need a model to go through. And what you're doing during this grow model is you're co-creating a vision of the future. Okay. You may have the first opportunity to be co-creating a future with this other person in a long, long, long time. And so, because in daily life, not many people are out there talking about grow, they're talking about, okay, did you pay the electric bill, or kids need to be picked up, or, pressure and concerns and all this. We are listening for this person's greatness. We're listening for opportunities to co-accelerate, collaborate, and connect. So I highly recommend get so firmly planted in your purpose, what you're doing, who you're doing it with, why you as the coach consultant, you're doing the work you're doing, so that there's congruency, there's alignment, and there's confidence. You can really master this art of enrollment when you have a process, when you're so certain in the programs, the products, the services that you provide, that oh my goodness, this is a great value. This is filled with tremendous opportunities. You are so certain, because you've heard this frequently. Your certainty is more important than the other person's uncertainty. So you need to transfer your certainty in the way of a transformational conversation over to the other person. They need to understand and really feel and be aligned with the possibilities that are there for them. And of course, your ability to deliver on your word, on your promise, on your program is paramount. Okay. So shore yourself up during that grow conversation. And as we complete our time here today, I highly recommend spending some time with your programs, with your products, with your services, who you are as a coach consultant. Practice understanding and feeling the importance of what you're doing, who you're doing it for, and the transformation that you are providing. And get it in your bones, okay? Get it in your bones, because what we do is not, these are not commodity services. These are not transactional relationships. These are sacred, powerful, life-changing relationships, okay? So get firmly aligned, and at the same time, let's all get out of our comfort zone, because where these masterful enrollment conversations happen, they're out of our comfort zone. Okay. Ask the question, be succinct, be powerful, get to the point of the matter with the enrollment conversation. Say the things that you're uncomfortable saying. Say the things like, have you tried doing this before? What were the results? Are there any things that you want to talk about? Perhaps, you've been in coaching before. Have them tell you if they've had a coach before. Have them tell you what were the experiences that they had. Maybe they were not great. Maybe they were great. Okay. So ask the uncomfortable questions. Okay. Go there. And, obviously get in a program that helps you have those kinds of courageous conversations. Okay. And of course, we know that the time considerations always come up. We know the money and resource conversations come up. And so having ammunition, so to speak, for yourself to be able to really say that, hey, time, going there with the client, be courageous, be unstoppable, be able to talk about time. Well, tell me about your schedule. Tell me about how you're using your time. Same thing with money. Are you in a program? Have you experienced coaching before? Have you been in a powerful transformational program before? And what were the results? And so, the time and money conversation is really, really, really powerful. And those quote unquote objections can be overcome by going back to the person's vision, going back to that G in the GROW model. What are their goals? What's their vision? What is it that they really, really, really want? And are they committed to get it and experience it no matter what? Because that when the goal is strong enough, the goal is powerful enough, they will make the time for this and they will find the resources. And so if time and money concerns come up for you, let's go back to putting together a little mini plan. Again, the options and what's next. Go back and put a little mini plan together about how to deal with the time considerations or objections or concerns or the money. Put together a little mini plan with your prospective client. And then, of course, at the end of the GROW model, I highly recommend asking a very simple question, being unstoppable, being committed, being the powerful you are. Ask the simple question, which is, would you like to start today? Would you like to start today? I ask that question and I just anticipate they're going to say yes. Okay. And you can hear there's no energy to it. It's just a really simple question. It's just like, pass the sugar around the table, would you like to start today? Shall we complete the paperwork right now? Would you like to register right now? Would you like to start the process now? Come up with a question that's unique and powerful to you in your process, but ask the question. Ask the question. All right. And if they respond with, I need to think about it, I need to ask a partner, I need to do this and I do that, that's cool. That's okay, because people need time to process. And then there's another category of people that just jump in and say yes. So know the person on the other end. Are they a processing, methodical, need to think about it, get their resources together kind of person? Cool. Or are they a jump in, let's make it happen and let's do it kind of person? And so giving the person who needs the more resources, what is it they need? Do they need to look at something, go to a website, watch a video? What are their concerns? So get those concerns and next steps outlined and agreed upon. And the person who's going to just jump in, maybe you send them over text a link to your merchant account. They can just go ahead and take care of that in a confidential and proprietary and secure way. Send them the link. Be prepared with either route. And of course, to complete the masterful enrollment conversation means that you then agree on the next steps. The next steps, if a person wants to think it through, they want to take a little time, that's great. No problem there. Agree with them on the next steps. A question you can ask is, great, no problem. I understand you want to check with your partner, you want to check on your schedule. That is great. When should I contact you again? When should I contact you again? A nice, easy question. Another easy question could be, great, shall we go ahead and book a call to touch base and complete our conversation? Should we just go ahead and why don't we get it on the books and let's schedule another call? Okay. Light and easy, no pressure. All right. Okay. Because you want to have a client that you work with that you meet them at least halfway. All right. So trying to hunt down clients and to be able to convince them, cajole them, all that, that's not for you because you are unstoppable. You're committed and you are a powerful person. Okay. We are creating a community of people who want to work with us. We want to work with them. So this is not a pressure conversation. Remember, there are 8 billion people on the planet right now, 8 billion. We have a lot of work to do. Okay. So we've got a lot of people to talk to. We have a lot of opportunities for transformation. Please don't spend inordinate amounts of time with people who are taking a lot of convincing. Okay. Stay in touch with them, nurture them, love them, care for them. Don't try to track people down and make it difficult. Okay. So the GROW model is very powerful, and all the time remembering that you and I, we are committed. We're committed to the fire inside of us because the fire inside of us is burning brighter than the fire around us. All right. So whatever's happening in your world, whatever's happening in your client's world, stuff's up, things are happening, but being more committed to that fire, that drive, that purpose, that transformation inside of you is the key, because people are going to feel it. They're going to hear and feel and sense and see your commitment for them. So make sure that that comes across loud and clear. Okay. And, as we complete, we really believe in the Women's Coaching and Consulting Council that together, we're creating a world with committed and powerful coaches. Together, we are transforming the world so that everyone has a coach. Everyone has multiple coaches, and everyone has the support, guidance, mentorship, the expression that they need. And coaches, we know we do that. And so what's next? Every Saturday, we have our Women's Saturday Morning Success Circle, where we talk about topics for 27 minutes. We have a topic, a theme for the week, which is timely, important, and we engage in a beautiful, vibrant conversation. And this Saturday, we're going to talk again about enrollment and how to feel comfortable, how to feel aligned, how to feel completely and totally beautiful and wonderful during the enrollment conversation. Okay. How to be so present with the other person that it's just a magic and a powerful relationship that you're creating. So we're going to talk about the beingness of enrollment this Saturday. And so join us 27 minutes, because the number 27 means new beginnings. Okay. And so with that, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and it's C-Suite WCCC, as in Women's Coaching and Consulting YouTube. Join us. You get subscribe. You get a notification when we drop another wonderful video, and we're promoting, showcasing, and highlighting our esteemed faculty. So be able to check in and get our YouTube videos. They're extraordinary. And so, as we complete, we really think that the real secret to all of this is being powerful together, being powerful, having a sisterhood and a brotherhood of people who are supporting you, promoting you, highlighting you, showcasing you, and lifting you up so you can do more, be more, and have more. And so as we finish up, we would love to invite you to be part of our council. You can easily do that by connecting with me, Kathleen Caldwell, the founder of our council, at calendly.com. Schedule a time. Let's have 30 minutes and let's talk about you. What is it that you're committed to? What's your vision? And how can the council and how can I personally and all of our sisters support you? And so, with that, thank you for being part of our program today. We care for you, we love you, and we invite you to come into our council. Bye for now. Thank you.